us to remember the power of our light and agency that we all have inside of us. So I'm excited today to talk and share about chakras. And whether you believe in chakras or not, my hope is you will get something out of this that you can incorporate into your life because there are so many connection points and benefits. And so today I am going to hopefully unveil the power of chakras for you. So what are chakras? Often you will hear folks pronounce it chakras, but just so you know, it's chakras, right? Is kind of the way we pronounce it, really originating in India. But like potato, potato, people kind of pronounce it differently sometimes. But chakras are colorful vortexes of energy. And so this really comes out of ancient Indian traditions, originating even from Hindu texts, and you even see references in Buddhist texts about this idea that all down our spine, we have these different kinds of points that are just energy centers, really, really kind of these spinning wheels of energy. And one of the things I love about this idea of chakras is it also allows us to intentionally think about certain points in our life where we want to build or manifest in a certain way, as well as think about how do we replenish our energy sources in different ways. And right now, of course, this is a very heavy, heavy time in our world. I cried a lot this past week. And in this safe space, right, kind of thinking about and sharing, with the elections aftermath, with growing disparities that we are seeing across our world, we have a lot of struggling, a lot of suffering, a lot of hurt. And yet, we can't forget that in the midst of all of that, there are still agency and actions we can take, that we still have the sphere of influence, and energy sources can help us to advance justice and build good in our world. So chakras are energy centers in our body. In Sanskrit, one of the world's most ancient languages, chakras is really this kind of concept that comes out of that means wheel, and it symbolizes the spinning energy in our body along certain points. There are 7 main chakras, which I'm going to talk to you about today and share more on. And again, you can imagine this kind of on our spine, all the way from the root chakra, all the way to the crown chakra. And we'll talk about that today. Chakras influence our physical, our emotional, our spiritual well-being. And there is this idea tracing back even into ancient Vedas that talk about how important it is that we work to align our well-being, all of the different dimensions from physical to social, emotional, to cognitive, to spirit and heart. And often as human beings, this can be tricky. We sometimes put so much energy in one area, but we neglect maybe other areas. So one of the things I like about the chakras is it also has a step back and to remember the interconnected nature of everything, right? Our life, and to align and to balance with intention. When aligned, it is believed the chakras can help to promote harmony. It can bring clarity into our lives. And again, it is also linked to many practices. So I'll show you some connection points today, from yoga to meditation to even Ayurvedic or Eastern medicine. So some of the history around the chakra system. Chakras really originated from the ancient Indian spiritual traditions. So you will see it really emerging out of Hindu texts, Buddhism texts, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So very, very kind of ancient source of knowledge. The earliest references can be found in the Vedas and the Upanishads, which are ancient sacred texts written in Sanskrit around 1500 BCE. Now, you will see the chakras are also elaborated on in the Yoga Sutras. So if anyone here does yoga, you may be familiar with the Yoga Sutras, which really teach a lot about yoga. And you'll see there are interconnections to chakras or vortexes of energy, even within that as well. And so again, there are 7 primary chakras. And one of the things I love, I am a person who loves all the colors in the world, and chakras really use color as well in very intentional ways to get us thinking about things. Now, this is an affirmation that I love to share. It's kind of a simple affirmation, but what I love is each of the words that you see are connected to the chakra. You also see the color represented there. So, and you can read it, I am starting from bottom to top or top to bottom, right? I am divine, crown chakra. I am connected, right? This is our third eye chakra, Anja, which we'll talk about. I am expressive, throat chakra. I am loved, heart chakra. I am strong. This goes into our solar plexus, right? I am creative. I am safe. All the way to that root chakra. And again, you can read it. I am safe, creative, strong, loved, expressive, connected, divine, or go divine, connected, expressive, loved, strong, creative, safe. You also, something that I love to do, and I do this sometimes with my own kids, we start with I am, but then we change it to we are, to remember the collective, right? So even in a beautiful space such as this, we are divine, we are connected, we are expressive, we are loved, we are strong, we are creative, we are safe. So the first chakra, we start here with the root chakra, which is the very base of the spine. And the Muladhara is the root chakra, and it really means to have. It is about instinct. And the color associated with it is red. And the symbolism is grounding, survival, stability, trust. And if you're imbalanced in this chakra, you may have feelings of fear or feelings of insecurity. And one of the things that's beautiful is going even back to the Vedas, there are all of these different ways we can start to think about focusing and cultivating growth in our chakras. And you can do this all the way from music to thinking about crystals and rocks to thinking about what colors we wear, right? What are we trying to manifest during the day, or even how we set up a physical space and what's around us. And food. So in this case, some of the foods, if you're trying to kind of build in the area of your root chakra, you feel imbalanced, you would like to think about root vegetables. Think about beets, carrots, red fruits like pomegranate. So you're really bringing in those reds and infusing that into your life. And then in a very simple way, a mantra associated with this Muladhara I like to think of is I am. So, think about standing, you have your root, your feet on the ground, you're feeling your spine secure. I am. Just feeling that, right? I am. So the next chakra, we move into the lower abdomen and pelvis area. And so this chakra, Swadhisthana, is emotions, to feel. And the location, again, that lower abdomen, color is orange, and lots of symbolism here. Creativity, pleasure, relationships, abundance. If we are feeling imbalanced in this chakra, we may have issues with intimacy. We may find ourselves feeling emotionally unstable, lacking creativity. We might have a block of some sort that kind of makes us feel we're blocked in the area of being creative. And foods that we can incorporate into our life: oranges, mangoes, one of my favorite. We have hundreds of mango varieties in the world. Carrots, pumpkin seeds, and we are still kind of in that pumpkin season, right? So think about pumpkin. And a mantra is I feel. And you can build, right? So I am, I feel. The next chakra is the Manipura. And the Manipura is the solar plexus chakra. And it is about energy. You can think of it as translating to act. This is located at the belly button or navel. The color is yellow, and the symbolism is power, vitality, confidence, manifestation. Imbalances in this area are low self-esteem or even feeling powerless. And one of the things I'll point out is in each of the slides, I've also kind of included in the right corner a symbol as well, a visual symbol for each chakra. So here you see the Manipura represented almost, you can think of it as a sun, as well as a sunflower, right? Or lotus bloom with that kind of triangular piece inside. Food: bananas, corn, yellow peppers, quinoa, really, really good stuff. And quinoa, if you've never tried it, it's a very, very good grain. It's got protein, it's very healthy. So give it a try. And the mantra here is I do, right? I am, root chakra. I feel, we have our, below our abdomen, right? Belly button, I do. So I am, I feel, I do. And then one of my favorite chakras, the love or heart chakra. This is Anahata. And Anahata is about, really, really that center of the chest and feeling love, and love in its most expansive form. The color is green. Symbolism is love, compassion, healing, forgiveness. If we are imbalanced in this area, we may have difficulties in relationships. We may feel isolated or lonely or disconnected. And the love chakra, I feel this is one of the areas, our world needs. Food: spinach, broccoli, kale, green tea, even oats. So there are different foods we can start to incorporate. And the mantra here is I love. I am, I feel, I do, I love. Right, center of the chest. And then the Vishuddha is the throat chakra. And this is about communication, all the forms of communication. So it's about listening, it's about speaking, it's about reading, writing, viewing, all of the things. The location is the throat. The color is blue. Symbolism is expression, truth, communication. If you are imbalanced, you may have trouble expressing thoughts or feelings. You may have trouble in your relationships with communication. And some of the things in terms of foods we can incorporate, color, of course, is blue. Thinking about foods: blueberries, flax seeds, radish, chia seeds, and even herbal teas. So, chamomile, peppermint tea. If you drink tea, lots of good herbal teas out there. Rubus, beautiful herbal teas to incorporate to help us open up our throat chakra. And the mantra here is I speak. I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak. Ajna. This is our third eye chakra. So in fact, you see often I wear the bindi. I am meditating in the morning and I'm, intentionally putting on my bindi, right? It's this kind of meditational piece in my life. And the bindi has many, many meanings. That's another talk for another day. Lots of stories around it too, which are fun. But, one of the things we do is we are touching and putting that on to our third eye chakra. So this is our Ajna chakra, center of the forehead. The color is indigo. Symbolism is awareness, intuition, insight, perception, thought. The idea that there is more to the world than just what we see, right? There's lots of mystery and awe and wonder to the world. To dream beyond just what we're seeing. Imbalances, we may have lack of clarity. We may be overthinking. Some of the foods we can incorporate: figs, prunes, acai berries, turnips, eggplant. Two of my favorites, dark chocolate and coffee. If we got any coffee lovers or dark chocolate, right? It's funny. I was eating some dark chocolate the other day and my daughter said, "Mom, it's a little early for a piece of dark chocolate, isn't it?" Because it was kind of earlier in the day. And I said, "Oh, I'm boosting my Ajna chakra." So, but these are good things we can manifest. And mantra, I see. Right? I see. And again, moving beyond just the physical idea of sight into all of the even, spiritual possibilities of sight. So again, we have I am, root chakra. I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see. The Sahasrara. This is a beautiful chakra. So the Sahasrara is a crown chakra, which is kind of the embodiment of all the chakras. And it is about connection, to know. It is the top of the head. So you imagine a crown, right? Right here, the top of the head. You also can imagine it, in addition to being the top of the head, sometimes folks imagine it all the way kind of coming in through the top of the head, but even through the upper arms, if you're in a yoga pose, going all the way through the body. The color is violet. Symbolism is spiritual connection, enlightenment. If you feel imbalanced, you may feel disconnection. You may feel a lack of purpose. Foods that can help: elderberry, blackberries, plums, grapes, purple basil, radish, purple cabbage. And the mantra is I understand. It is enlightenment, right? To know truth, to seek truth, but ultimately to seek to understand. So again, from our root, I am, I feel, I do, I love, I speak, I see, I understand. Right? So it's this kind of really beautiful alignment. Now, some of the, these were ancient traditions, but we have a lot of contemporary applications that come from chakras. It is a spiritual framework. So in ancient Vedas, chakras help to educate on many different concepts, from spiritual awakening all the way to prana, which is considered life force. Prana is also about breathing. So earlier today, Judy had us doing deep breath, right? That power of breathing. It is about Ayurveda or medicinal health. So in Ayurvedic medicine, that is kind of an old Eastern medicine where you heal through other means than traditional medicines, right? Or drugs, different types of medicine. And chakras were a vital role of emotional, spiritual, physical health. It really ties into Ayurvedic's idea of balancing and harmonizing our energy systems. The idea that when we are more in balance, we strengthen our immune systems. When we are unbalanced, right? Sometimes our immune systems may be struggling. And we all have that as humans. It's hard, right? Especially in the world that we live in, all the complexities. It is tied into holistic healing. So if anyone knows Reiki, that's a type of healing that they use touch. Sound therapy, like sound baths. If you've ever done a sound bath, crystal healing connected to that. Therapeutic yoga, if we have any folks here who do yoga. Chakras connect into it. It focuses on the alignment, the energy flow. There is so much that is connected. And in fact, sometimes things that we do in yoga, like mudras, have connections. We sometimes have different symbols that we're doing, like when we meditate, right? You may see people doing things with their hands. Those are called mudras. And the mudras are also connected to the chakras. So we're bringing out some of those vortexes of energy. Meditation and mindfulness. I love that here there's a space for meditation. And then personal development. So nowadays it's really interesting, even in traditional therapy, we are now seeing therapists starting to integrate some of these concepts because it can help in even identifying blockages. And then it can promote self-awareness and help us to, because it is hard to sometimes, we need languages to talk about things, to identify things. And this system actually helps many times individuals to start to break down different parts of their well-being and to talk about it. And then it allows us to start to address those blockages, right, in these holistic, beautiful ways. So lots of connections. Now, this is another affirmation that I absolutely love. And you're going to see that each of the lines is connected with our chakras that we just spoke about. And so this is the 7 chakras affirmation. I am one with the universe. I am guided. I am worthy of being heard. I am at peace. I am empowered. I am creative and inspired. I am loved and supported. Now, sometimes we may not feel one of these areas, right? Maybe we're not feeling empowered, or we're not feeling creative. Maybe we're not feeling supported. But with the affirmation, we are manifesting as well. So even if we're not feeling that, we're putting ourselves out there to say, I am, to remind ourselves we're worthy of that. It's about human dignity, human love, manifestation. And then what I love to do here is, again, I like to swap the I am with we are, the collective, right? Inward, but also the outward. All of us are interconnected. So I want us to try this, and feel free on this part, if you do want to come off mute, feel free to take it. And we're going to say we are and start with the first one and read together in unison. And if you don't want to come off mute, you can just say it aloud in your home as well. Okay. We are one with the universe. We are guided. We are worthy of being heard. We are at peace. We are empowered. We are creative and inspired. We are loved and supported. Beautiful, beautiful. And so just reminding ourselves, right? And feel free to mute again if you want, but thank you for doing that. I feel there's collective for us to kind of put this out into the universe and to remind each other in our spaces, right? That we are one with the universe. And I really feel, actually, if you take the UU principles, there's a lot of alignment here with the chakras, right? Thinking about our interconnectedness, thinking about, peace, love, belonging, so many different connections. So what are some ways to unblock and balance our chakras? Lots of different things for us to explore. Meditation. You could focus on a chakra during your meditation. So when you're meditating, if there is an area you are unbalanced, Visualize that color and imagine energy flowing freely through it. If you are trying to boost your love chakra, while you're meditating, think about the color green. And if you have trouble visualizing a color, think about things that are green. Maybe you're imagining a green field, trees, right? Broccoli, whatever it is that brings you green. Breathing exercises. Deep, mindful breathing techniques like diaphragmatic breathing can help to release that tension. It can help us to flow. And there are so many good medical benefits to breathing, but we can start to do that even thinking about the chakras. So imagine maybe our root chakra is not balanced, right? And so one of the mantras I provided today, I am. So maybe we're saying, I am, and then inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. I am. And we're thinking that and saying that as we do it, right? So different ways we can start to think about this. Certain poses in yoga have specific chakras related to them. So the root chakra can be activated with grounding poses. So think about the mountain yoga pose, or you may have heard of the warrior pose in yoga, a very, very famous yoga pose. That is connected to our root chakra. Sound healing, chanting, thinking about our third eye. So even you may know that many times folks who meditate coming from India, there's the sound of Om, a vibration. And it resonates really with our Ajna chakra, right? Our third eye. Essential oils. Oh, I love some good oils. So just, awakening your senses. So think about lavender. You could think about sandalwood, rose, peppermint, different essential oils to aid us. Crystals, if you like rocks or crystals or stones. Sometimes, my daughter and my son, he's at Stetson, he's a college student, but he really, really loves to think about these energy centers. And so for him, occasionally on a birthday or a holiday, I've given him some sort of stone, right? And sometimes we'll wear the stones as part of jewelry. Like today, right? I told Judy early this morning that I'm doing a lot of speaking today. I started my morning with graduate students helping on thesis, a couple who needed help, working with all of you today, which is such a joy. And then after this, I'm leaving to do a Girl Scouts lesson around Diwali, or Festival of Lights that we're celebrating. But I said, oh my gosh, I got to keep my throat chakra open. I'm going to do a lot of communication. So I wore my little piece here, my stone coming on, right? I got a little turquoise going on. So you can bring in colors, right, in different ways. Think about diet. We talked about some of the different foods we can put into our diet. And even thinking about plant-based diets, even if you're not on a plant-based diet, you may think about even, one day, right? Maybe you're doing meatless Monday. Take a day where you do a plant-based day even. The idea is that also helps us to really align our energy centers, where we are acting in ways of compassion, right? Empathy to creatures and our universe. Affirmations, such as what we did today. Positive affirmations can help us to balance. It can help provide clarity and healing and even energy. Reiki, energy healing, going to a practitioner. Sometimes if we're blocked in an area, seeking professional help in an area. Maybe if we're, struggling physically, we say we're going to, go sign up at a gym or have a walking buddy to go walk. Maybe we need to be more creative. So we sign up just for fun for a watercolor class, or we play more music at home and just sing. Open up those chakras and energy centers. So here, I just wanted to show you for folks who do yoga. And I don't know if we have folks here who are into yoga, but if you are, you can see there are certain poses connected to the chakras. So we talked about, again, warrior pose. You'll see that at the very bottom there on root chakra, right? All the way thinking about, cat pose. That's one of the throat chakras. So you have these different poses that are aligned with our different chakras or energy centers. Crystals and rocks. If any of you are into stones, here are some stones for the different chakras. If you're trying to, energize and balance your crown chakra, rainbow moonstone, clear quartz, ajna chakra, amethyst, right? Our throat chakra, aquamarine, heart chakra, emerald, jade, solar plexus, tiger eye, citrine, many of them, sacral chakra, moonstone, orange calcite, root chakra. You can think about red jasper, garnet, right? Red tiger's eye. So lots of different stones for us. And you don't have to buy, stones and rocks, they can be expensive if you think about really big stones and rocks. You don't have to do that, right? You can buy a really tiny little one that you can just keep. And sometimes it's helpful if you, know, I'm kind of feeling imbalanced. It can be a reminder where you can just take that little stone and put it into your purse during the day or your pocket, just having that good energy. Also, this is fascinating to me, all these connections with chakras. But one of the other ideas is to balance and awaken them through music. So I know we have some beautiful musicians here. So when you think about music, different song notes can be connected to these different energy centers. So I find that really fascinating. So maybe we're finding that we really want our solar plexus, right, to be manifested and cultivated. So we pick a song that is grounded in the key of E. Very cool. So I want to leave time for questions as well. And so I'm going to end here and I'm going to thank all of you because even as I join you here through the Zoom, I feel all kinds of energy, good energy. You all, this community, wow. You have such good vortexes of energy and together it is just shining through the screen. So thank you all for being who you are. As we manifest, goodness into our world and peace and justice, let's also remember to take care of ourselves so we can do that with intention. We can do that and show up in all the ways we are needed in our world. And so I hope this gave you something new to think about, even if it's just thinking about when you dress up in the morning, putting on a certain color or incorporating that into your outfit.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And I'm going to say namaste. And let me